Yo, I put it like wow, this that sound. These oaks don't work hard like me, I hope they know by now. Bayo Bab, stand my ground. Bro, these money trees go overseas like Percy Tau. I'll make sure you stay around, quiet when I'm under loud. No negatives allowed, me and positivity took a vow. I always play to win, don't anticipate loss. Mind always in the clown, my boy. Never think about the drop, never ever ever think about the drop.
Quickly hit the escape button because you turned it on. You want to see MKT. Who's this guy? He looks like a low budget Bruce Willis. What the hell is going on? It's the interim before the interim. This is what we do nowadays in sports content. You can't have a permanent. You gotta have an interim and then an interim. A guy before the guy. I'm the guy before the guy. My name is PTP. The PTP takeover of the MKT show is back for this fine November midday. It's midday, we're closing in, wrapping up at the end of the year. We are, in South Africa, we have a phrase that is called gatvol. Our asses are full. Okay, for translation, our asses are full of what? We don't know. I'm filling in for MKT on the MKT show. He is down in Cape Town. He's gonna do a 100-kilometer run. We can track him, but only from Saturday. We don't want to track him now. We don't want to know where he goes. Beefcakes, multiple other cakes. Where is MKT going? Only track him on Saturday, not today. The all essential, the always sexy Senzo Setibe shortlist today in a full pants like a grown-ass man doing a real job. But the hoodie, man, what are you doing, man?
Man, my hair's in a state, man.
Your hair is in a state. This is the problem we have on the show, right? Because, like, everybody knows me by now. When I'm wearing a hat, it means I've not cut my hair, right? But on the show, we can't wear hats because of the lighting, because of camera things, okay? Hoodies. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, you know me, dude. Like, come on, man.
The whole team is here. We've got Welcome, we've got Sipho, we've got James, and we've got Ryan, not Ryan Reynolds. Huge disappointment, but he does take his shirt off, and nobody likes that. Huge complaints. Look at that, the two goons back there in the studio. Looking good with the air conditioning unit. A lot of cool things coming up in the show today. We're going to wrap up the Champions League. One match day to go. Who is still in the running? A lot of big teams can still get knocked out. We're going to be talking about, I haven't spoken to you yet about Manchester United and what a mess they're in. But Senzo and I are going to discuss how Liverpool and City can avoid getting themselves in the same mess. And of course, Paolo's Weird World of Football is back. George Best edition on the anniversary of Georgie Best's death. Going to tell you a wild story you probably didn't even know about. This is the PTP interim. I'm the interim before the interim. The guy before the guy before the guy. But who am I? Am I Carrick? Am I Valverde? Am I Poch? Am I Ragnick?
Zidane?
Am I Zidane? Who am I? This is the MKT Show, PTP Takeover.
That's right.
That's right. I like to pretend this is a professional organization. We're coming in with a comment. It's the PTP Show. It's Porter in here, and here we go. It is getting very Portuguese in here. The best MKT impersonator. I told you before, I'm the Matthew Booth impersonator, right? Matthew Booth, legendary South African central defender, Russia's finest, the finest South African to ever play in Russia.
Listen to this guy.
Listen to this. So I want to start off by something, right? James, I haven't been on the show for like a week and a half due to commitments. You said something in one of the shows I want to pick up on that about Simply Red being your dad's favorite band. So I want to talk to you a little bit about Simply Red. Tell me more. I want to hear about this. I love music, especially 80s bands.
So I don't actually know an awful lot because he passed away when I was really young. But my brother actually told me that Simply Red was his
Mick
favorite
Hucknall.
band. I don't know if he had a favorite song, or I have no idea.
So I want to tell you something about that. So it's a huge sports connection, right? So of course, Simply Red, Money's Too Tight to Mention, Fairground, Holding Back the Time. Oh, I should know better. I do an 80s music show. Did you know Simply Red is named after Manchester United, James?
What?
Oh, yes.
That makes sense because my dad was a Manchester United fan.
Mick Hucknall, the lead singer of Simply Red, huge Manchester United fan.
Okay.
Huge. I mean, he's often at games. At one point, he was going to buy Manchester United. In the 80s, he wanted to buy Manchester United. That's what a big fan he is. A couple of years ago, and James, you'll find the picture. I don't know if you can share it. Because, YouTube, they got the rights. What are you going to do? Rights issues. There is a picture of Mick Hucknall with Alec Ferguson in the crowd. And people at the time were saying, how lovely that Alex Ferguson is bringing his grandmother to the matches. If you can find that picture, you gotta find it.
I'm looking at the picture currently. I'm gonna bring it up in a second.
He has got it. He's got it right there. And Terrence Cameron on the comments saying, I love Simply Red. Listen, if you got something to say, jump onto YouTube on the comment section. Give us a comment. Have a chat. We want to talk to you guys. That's why we do this. Not for us. Well, it's mostly for us. But we want to have a chat. Simply Red, a couple of years ago, they came to South Africa, saw them in concert. The rudest artist I've ever seen. No regard for the fans. No regard for anyone's time. He went through 10 songs and walked off the stage.
Really?
Prick Hucknall. Some called him, not me.
So not a very nice dude, huh?
Well, you know what? Let's say, a lot of acts when they come to South Africa, they come on like promotional tours, like for an album.
They don't realize how big they are here.
Well, we're so hungry at this time. We're so hungry for international artists. We just let anything go. So it's very rude and dismissive of fans. But anyway, that's Mick Hucknall, Simply Red, named after Manchester United. Wanted to buy them. God, where would we be if Mick Hucknall had bought Manchester United?
No, but money was too tight to mention.
This guy.
My question is, where are we now that Justin Bieber is coming to South Africa next year for the third time?
Because you guys are believers, that's why.
So this is a big thing, right? I was having a conversation with somebody the other day that this is the first big event where they've said you can't get in unless you're vaccinated.
Yeah.
And it's like, how much of a believer are you in COVID myths? I mean, how much do you love Justin Bieber that you'd get vaccinated to go?
Well, I mean, vaccinations are free, so there's that upside, I guess.
Question, do you believe?
Listen,
Wait, you guys keep saying believers. I do have to correct you. As a
this guy.
youngster.
He's hard of hearing. He's hard of hearing.
I'm going to excuse you. Ask your little cohort there, Ryan, not Ryan Reynolds. Did we say believers or believers? I'm pretty sure we said believers.
I heard someone say believer.
I'm-
I was for sure.
I believe. I think I heard 1 and 1. So I heard one time believer and then one. But are you a believer, James?
I was once upon a time.
Not
Are you a
anymore.
believer? Listen, I wouldn't so much say get the COVID vaccine to go to Justin Bieber. I'd say go get your hepatitis shots if you're going to go anywhere near Justin Bieber. Justice for Justin Bieber. So listen, let's get into some sport. Obviously, a week is a very long time in football. Poor Ollie. It took the whole reign. I've been calling him Ole the whole time, and only now when he's sacked do I call him Ollie. Gets the boot on, when was it? Sunday morning. Oh my God, then he does this cringe-worthy interview. I don't
How
know.
terrible was
Who
that?
was
dude?
that done for? Like, I understand that they want to say to the guy, listen, say goodbye to the fans, say goodbye to the players, give your side of the story, we want to be gentlemen. That was painful to watch, man.
It was terrible.
I don't want to see no grown-ass man crying on TV, especially over a soccer team.
You know what I mean?
Who was that for?
It wasn't for us.
Are Manchester United so meta content right now that they actually would do anything for the clicks and the memes and the
Well,
gifs?
you saw it, man. You saw it the way it was. And yeah, it was actually borderline embarrassing.
It was just painful to watch. I found nobody came out of that looking good. So off Solskjaer goes, and now we've got the interim before the interim, right?
The guy before the guy, as you said.
Michael Carrick. What I loved about it is
Carras.
Listen, underrated midfielder. What you got to love about Michael Carrick is that as a player, no one ever really gave him credit for the success and the part he played in arguably Ferguson's best ever team.
Yeah.
And he went under the radar. And how he somehow goes under the radar of this mess that has been left at Manchester United, where he was 100% complicit in it, and he gets to keep his job.
Sports free, eh?
You got to admire the guy's ability to never get the credit, both good or bad, for what he's been involved in. And what I loved watching the game is how people were looking for signs that Carrick did something different. No, he didn't. He did the same thing. Really silly appointment. Now Manchester United are looking for the guy before the guy, but who knows what that means. Ernesto Valverde is the best man at the moment.
I'd take him.
You know what? I like it. It's imaginative. It's interesting. It's not Big Sam. It puts towards some thinking, right? But whether it's Poch, we end up with whatever the hell ends up. Nothing is really going to change at Manchester United while the ownership is there.
That's true, actually. Actually, that's true, right, actually, because, like, now it's like, what are the owners doing? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like they're ventriloquists.
They're kind of waiting for the problem to solve itself, right? So even this interim before the interim thing, it's kind of going, okay, well, how long is interim, right? How long is Michael Carrick there? 2 games, 4 games, a month? Maybe he wins some games. Oh, well, let the problem solve itself. Maybe the interim before the permanent comes in and, hey, he does well, and he solves the problem again. You know, Manchester United want the problem. These guys running the club want the problem to solve itself. They don't actively want to do anything. You know, remember when after the 5-0, there was a lot of noise, a lot of hustle, a lot of shaking around. Going, we're looking for managers. We're shaking every tree trying to get a manager. We're exploring options. They've been exploring options for about 4 weeks now with nothing concrete happening.
You know what I mean? So, like, it's neither here nor there. So it's just like...
They
okay.
just want the problem to solve itself. They're not going to actively do anything. We spoke a little bit a while ago about every major club across Europe knows who is going to be the next guy. They know. Chelsea know. Who are playing beautiful football. I see a comment
they're
here.
organized.
I mean, come on, man. That is going to be the most drilled team in Europe at the moment. Chelsea are playing insane football right now, right? But they already know who's next.
Yeah, they know who's got next. That's the thing. Like,
When Tuchel goes, they know who's next.
I mean, that's how, Marina and those people move, you know what I mean? So it's, yeah, man,
Right? So this is Chelsea. They know who's next. City probably know who's next.
Oh, yeah.
They're hoping they don't have to push that. They know who's next, right? Liverpool knows next, and Aston Villa are doing the internship. He's doing his internship at Aston Villa. So nice of them getting some work experience. Manchester United don't even know who's the interim. The interim before the interim. They're just hoping the problem will solve itself. Right? Now, the bigger problem with Manchester United is they keep going to look back at what used to happen and what used to work and hoping for another Ferguson. But as we said, Ferguson, Arrigo Sacchi, these guys are once a generation.
They're gone, bro.
They're once in a million. Now, we got a situation sitting up there, very close neighbours to Manchester United, where we currently have a 2 in a million situation. Klopp and Guardiola.
Yeah, man. It's.
Do you not think this is heading the same way? James pops up a graphic there. Pep Guardiola has only suffered more defeats as manager against Jurgen Klopp and Jose Mourinho, both 9 and 7, than Mauricio Pochettino 4. So these guys are the guys, right? They're not one in a generation. You had Ferguson and these guys. You had Paisley. They're only guy at the time. We're currently watching 2, possibly of
juggernauts,
all-timers, right? Hall of Famers.
Going back and forth.
I got to tell you, I got one sitting in the booth there. James, you tell me, what are Liverpool doing? Are Liverpool watching what's happening at Manchester United? And how do they prevent themselves from this? Because you can be as well run as you want as a football team, right? You can have everything in place. If you don't have a manager like Klopp, like Guardiola, none of that really gets you the success. There are a lot. Aston Villa are a fantastic, well-run football team. Brentford are an amazingly run football team. But you need that icon. Now,
with the cash to back it.
Well, with the cash to back it, it does help. Look, Liverpool don't spend a lot of money notoriously, as their fans will tell you. Net FC, net spend FC. James knows. He's used that argument.
I do know, because we don't sign anyone, ever. And if we do, it's some geriatric who was good 27 years ago for like a quarter of his price.
Right, but then you turn him into something. So Klopp has that ability. He's able to do that. Not Liverpool, not the structures, not the scouting. Klopp. Now, all the laughing that everyone's having at Manchester United is coming to these 2 clubs in the not too distant future. James, do you think, am I crazy? Am I smoking my socks? Or is there a point in this, in that your club can be as well run as you want, but without that totem, the whole thing can fall apart?
Yeah, I think so. I think like the players, especially with how everyone that's moved within football has seen what these totem figures have done, like Alex Ferguson, or like even not even manager wise, player wise, like there's players at Man United who used to play who were and still are these totem figures, and I think having that, it gives it a feeling of like it's more than just a club. And I know it sounds like a cliche thing because that's a Liverpool thing, I think, where they do more than just a club or whatever it is. I think that's what Manchester United are desperately missing. I think outside of Ferguson, 26 years is a long time.
Older than you, bro.
Exactly. Like it's a long time to have this figure that's taken you to silverware, and then for that to stop, and now you must kind of, do I believe in this manager and his whole philosophy? And it's great that you can bring in a former class of 92, blah blah what guy who's Mr. Manchester United, but if you're gonna lose 4-1 to Watford, is, I don't know. I think these figures are becoming a lot more important. In the Premier League, I think more so than anywhere else.
Well, actually, I'm going to throw that back at you. They always have been. You could argue that every dynastic team through football history, not just talk England, has been through the power of one man, right? Not institutions. You go back to AC Milan when they were dominating. It was Berlusconi. This was the guy dragging the club through. You go back to Liverpool's dominance, right? It was, okay, Paisley and Shankly together, but it was still one man at a time.
It was a beacon of light.
Always. Even the Galacticos of Real Madrid,
Yeah.
or Real Madrid's recent period of success, it's because of Perez. Chelsea is because of Abramovich. Barcelona was because of Guardiola. Barcelona, before Guardiola, had no success. They'd won one European Cup for the size of club they were, right? They won most of their trophies in the past 20-year period, the majority under Guardiola. So
Absolutely.
it's not just now. We seem to think that we're in an age of the superstar manager, the superstar figure, but it's actually not. It has always been this way.
It's just blaringly obvious now because now everybody, you need cash to go compete. So yeah.
And we have two at a time. But even with the cash, Manchester United have had the cash.
Yeah.
But, so
Had the cash.
So my thing is with this this figure, right? What entitles you to being that figure, if that makes sense? Because, you know, like Jurgen Klopp had no ties to Liverpool, even during his playing career. Throughout his career, he's had no ties to Liverpool, but he's still come in and been this figure that's won Liverpool quite a bit of silverware over the last couple of seasons, and obviously given like a whole club and a whole city belief again in the club. So what's the X factor within the manager that allows them to be this 26-year, for example, manager that takes you to silverware?
That's a fascinating question.
It's deep.
That
eh?
is an outstanding
It's
question
deep.
because, you know, Pep Guardiola, I dare say that guy spent 30 years of his life and never heard the words Manchester City. And, do you think I'm wrong? Think about it. He probably went a good majority of his life and would never have heard of Manchester City. So there's no connection to the club. That's why this thing of employing former icons and employing former players, it makes no difference because likewise Klopp has got no link to Liverpool, right? But obviously there's an attitude, there's a spirit, and maybe Liverpool over-egg it because they want to find it, they want to find the Shankly and Paisley figure, and that's fine. Every club has got their thing. I mean, that is a fascinating question. Why does it work at one club and not at another? But with these two managers in particular, and these are the two that we got to say, these are the next two big dramas in football, my friend.
No, it's the Titans.
I'm telling you right now,
the Titans.
Liverpool and City are the next two big dramas, the next two crisis clubs. It may not be for 5 years, but it will come when their managers walk out. And don't tell me the structure's there. Manchester City were preparing for Guardiola for 5 years.
Well in
For
advance.
5 years, right? They're not preparing for his replacement for 5 years.
Yeah.
They're not, you know, they may know who it is.
Yeah, but they're
not
saying,
putting
look,
in
are you
place.
watching the structure? You see the way we move. But also, we also lost David Gill at the same time because him and Fergie were.
So then maybe that answers James's question. And it goes back and maybe it debunks what I was saying. Because if no matter how well run a football club is, you need that manager. But possibly, and you brought up Chelsea, maybe this is what Chelsea did because they are so institutionally well run. But I do believe Manchester United as business are institutionally well run.
Yeah, well, I
Maybe
mean,
not as a football club.
But I said this, like, they are footballing, there are commercial guys making footballing decisions and it's just failing, eh? Just absolutely failing.
But do you not think, James, Liverpool do not have business guys making decisions at that club?
Oh, absolutely.
There's no way they're letting a bunch of guys who left school at 14 years old and have been in football their whole... Because what does that mean? We're talking about billion-dollar businesses here.
Like
right?
entities.
Entities, right? Corporations. Don't tell me when they say, oh, a football man making a decision. Most footballers left school at 14, guys. Sorry to tell you. I'm not letting them run billion-dollar businesses. So surely, Liverpool, City...
That's why they have agents and managers and, you know, PR people.
I think, if we get into this, Manchester United have... I mean, we're looking at Kuchle's comment there. When will the Glazers realize that Woodward and the board are good at making their money, but not at football decisions, right? Don't tell me these are stupid guys.
No, they can't be.
No, nowhere near. I mean, they're billionaires for a reason.
Right? You know, if you're a top CEO at Apple, I don't expect you to know how to make an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
I don't expect you, if you work at Tesla, right? If you're the top business guy, I don't expect you to know how to make a battery, right?
Exactly.
So you see this in all over the place. Top business guys, they adapt because the rules of business are the same. I don't know how football puts itself in this bucket that it goes, oh, we're so different. We're so precious.
But
we're not like that.
But as MKT says, keep the main thing the main thing.
Well, then what's the main thing?
Football.
And then that's what becomes the question. Is football really the main thing at Manchester United?
Well, that's why we're in the mire, man.
Because it's got to lend it, right? It's got to lend it.
Exactly.
Evidently, football is not the main thing. Everything else is the main thing. And for Liverpool and City, I don't believe that. I just think they've happened to stumble upon and bring in managers, like James says. What gives one manager an X factor that another one does, right? They'll get the next appointments wrong. City before Guardiola, Mark Hughes, Sven-Goran Eriksson, Mancini, who was there for a
Pellegrini.
season or two, Pellegrini. They were winning because they had the money.
Yeah.
But they're also getting wrong. I mean, God, what were Liverpool doing before Klopp?
Oh, Lord, don't even get me started.
No, but
Roy Hodgson and Andy Carroll is what Liverpool were doing.
Yeah, but Brendan kind of brought it back to where it was,
No, he did. But, like, think about before that. We literally signed Andy Carroll.
And Stuart Downing.
And
imagine.
Oh, no.
Okay, right. But here's the thing, guys, is that Liverpool, the way they were signing players then, is no different to how they're signing players now. It is still a version of this money ball statistical analysis. Yes, there's a big part of the eye test. Yes, there's a big part of football people looking and can I make that player better? But that's how they're narrowing down. So they're not changing. It's the same ownership group the whole time. They've just gotten either better or they just lucked on getting Klopp and he worked.
I mean, look at Andy Robertson. We bought him from Hull for, I think, like 5 million or something.
And we were laughing. We were laughing. Manchester United supporters were laughing when you bought Van Alden. So you're buying players from relegated clubs.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Liverpool have never replaced Van Alden.
No.
They've not replaced him, right?
True.
They've not replaced the guy. He came from a relegated team. So they've never changed the way they're doing things. They just have an icon with him. It's the same as Pep, right? I mean, let's talk about Jack Grealish. I mean, a lot of people want to have a go at Sancho. Jack Grealish is not exactly pulling up trees.
Honestly.
Okay? But it gets swept under the carpet because you've got Pep.
Pep, exactly. He's got that shield. He's got that shield, yeah.
And that's what success buys you, right? And it's such a fascinating thing to watch because I know Liverpool and City supporters are having a great laugh. They're really enjoying it right now. But it's going to come because you don't get these managerial appointments. There are the only club, and 2 clubs, not even. There is only one club that gets it right time after time after time in the modern era, and it is Chelsea.
Because that's how they built their business. Because like when Roman came in, they're like, okay, this is who we are now.
But again, it goes back to that powerful figure, one man. Because then maybe the managers change. What about Abramovich when he goes out?
Well, do you think Abramovich wants to go out?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's such a fascinating conversation to go, Manchester United are making all the wrong decisions.
Yeah.
Who knows who's next? Who knows the interim? What's Pochettino? I mean, listen, this was not a good week for Pochettino to put in the performance that
he did.
Right?
He was basically on audition. Like, we need you to beat City.
In Manchester, there is Poch and his lovely little... I just want to squeeze those cheeks of his. I love how Poch has gone full dad bod, right? You know.
That's why he's wearing a lot of black now.
Oh, man. We know it. This is what you do. You got a silhouette.
If I told you 5 years ago that Mauricio Pochettino would manage both Lionel Messi, Neymar, Kylian Mbappe, and Cristiano Ronaldo in one season, would you believe me?
And Sergio Ramos.
Well, he's barely managed.
He's just been vibing in the physio's room.
He's maybe like had the door opened for him by Sergio Ramos. Pochettino will become, I mean, if it happens, he'll actually become the first manager to manage both Ronaldo and Messi. No one's done it yet. And maybe he could do it in the same season.
Speaking of that, guys, do you know who's played with everybody? Angel Di Maria.
That guy. He's done everybody. He's got everybody. He's got everyone on speed dial. He knows all the guys. Only one is Lewandowski hasn't touched. This is worrying news for me, right? And this is where we talk about these iconic figures and these massive figures maybe blocking the pathway. Sir Alex Ferguson is leading the charge for Manchester United to bring in Pochettino. That worries me because this is the guy who wanted Moyes. Now, listen, I am a guy, I've said it, not just that Moyes is doing better now. I said,
I think he just wanted that thing of, never been managed by anybody outside of Britain. Well,
it's ridiculous. I mean, Ferguson
but apparently he wanted Guardiola first. And Guardiola said, not after you.
Well, listen, you don't want to be the guy after the guy. And this is the same thing with Pep and Klopp. You don't want to be the guy after them. No one wants to be the guy after him. You want to be the guy after Solskjaer, after Carrick, after Valverde. Maybe you want to be that guy. Could Poch be that guy? I don't like that Ferguson's involved. Listen, the guy's amazing. Give him statues. He's got to stand. But you have got to walk out from under shadow. Sir Alex Ferguson himself hated the fact that Sir Matt Busby was still in Manchester United. He did not like it himself.
Then he died.
Right? Why are you different? We love Ferguson. You should not be making football decisions. It's a vacuum within the club. I'm probably contradicting everything I've said. Pochettino wants Manchester United right now. After watching PSG last night, do Manchester United still want him? After this, we're going to be speaking about Champions League, having a look at the teams who are through. One of them Sporting. My beautiful, beloved.
Yeah, with the most skullduggerous football ever.
How do you feel that Liverpool beat Porto?
I love it all day. I love it all day. Put those slum dogs back in the river where they belong. The only reason I'll back them is because of UEFA coefficient. We'll talk about the Champions League still coming up. Paulu's Weird World of Football on the anniversary of George Best's death. I didn't even plan it that way.
R.I.P. to the best.
I didn't even plan it that way. Going on the lash with Georgie Best.
Maradona good. Pele better. George Best.
The guys before the guys. The interim before the interim. PTP takeover of the MKT Show. We're back ASAP. That's a lot of acronyms. Interim before the interim. Consider me Michael Carrick. I got to be better than Michael Carrick, man. Come on.
You can't really judge him.
But am I Michael Carrick? I've got to be Michael Carrick.
You're better
Surely
than
I'm
Carrick.
better. Valverde at least. If I may not be. I may not be
Valverde's won
Pochettino.
leagues, my man.
He's won leagues. Comment, Kukle, Rodgers linked to United, Leicester lose to Chelsea, Poch linked to United, PSG lose. It could be a sign. You put it all together.
Poison Chalice. Do you know who can't lose? Do you know who can't lose?
Give it a beat.
Valverde.
He doesn't have a team. Maybe a Sunday League team is going to lose this weekend.
Oh my goodness.
So let's talk a little bit about...
Apparently, they're saying Ronaldo is endorsing, who's this guy? Luis Enrique.
You know, Luis Enrique is a non-goer because no way is the guy going to walk away from...
Spain, and he's building something.
You know, Spain have got to go into a World Cup as one of the favorites. You want to go for that. You know, Enrique's done the club thing. He's won the Champions League. Sure, it might be tempting, but not right now. The guy's not leaving Spain, especially not for this mess of a Manchester United team.
Yeah.
MKT watching from afar. Hey, Papa is watching you. Your dad knows. Your dad knows. When you're having a party at home, he knows.
Yeah, of course.
The day of loyalty is gone. It is more effective to be a COO rather than a CEO. Fergie was an anomaly, not the rule. Manchester United being successful.
But the same thing with Wenger, though. Wenger was also exactly the same.
You know, but as a club, Manchester United won all their league titles. 2 managers won all their league titles. 2 managers,
That's
I think, bar
crazy.
Bar two. Of the 20 titles, 2 managers won 18. 2 managers won 3 European Cups.
That's crazy.
Manchester United's eras of
and
success.
they did it the same way. Busby Babes, Fergie's fledglings.
It's not going to happen a third time. It just doesn't. That's just not the world. Just not how the world works. And stop trying to replicate. So Champions League this week. I got to tell you, I hate a Champions League week. I'm 41 years old, guys. I got a full-time job. I got a family. Got a lot of responsibilities. I cannot be staying up till 11 o'clock now. Daylight savings time.
Dude,
clock's changed.
11:45, quick off.
What are we talking about here?
It's ridiculous.
On a Tuesday, 2 nights in a row.
It's ridiculous.
2 nights in a row.
But you know it's going to be interesting. The golden boot race for Champions League, because Hela, Ronaldo, and Salah, and Lewandowski,
Come on, guys.
they just do it.
Guys, just live a little. Stay awake for that 11:45 kickoff. Live a little.
Is there 11:45 kickoff? This is
I
quarter
didn't
to
know
10.
there was. I
It's
don't
quarter
know
to
what he
10.
was talking
Oh, quarter to 10, but either way.
But it's always been 11:45.
No.
Yeah.
So now there's 2 slots, right? So the first half of the groups for South Africa is a nice time, 9:15. Perfect, right? But as Europe goes into winter, they flip it over. It's 9:45 kickoffs.
Oh, yes. You're right.
Of course he's right.
There is the one earlier game. I don't know why they've put one.
Because it's the guys playing in Russia.
No, but
That-
even not, because Manchester United played in Spain and they were early.
That early game's, what's that, 6? Hopper 6 or something, right?
It's 9:45. Well,
No, we played at 8
6
though.
there. Yeah, 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
right?
That's perfect.
Yeah, so that's a good time. That's a good time. Spanish are not going to like that.
No, because
The Spanish like a late start. They like a late
like a
start.
siesta.
They like a late start. So anyway, listen, a Champions League week is always tough for me, I've got to tell you. Thank God I don't have any teams in the Europa League. Manchester United dodged
Imagine.
that. Because I cannot be doing the Thursday night. There's that Europa League slot. There's one game that's like at total opposite 5 o'clock.
Imagine.
And then there's like
You're
a
playing with
weird
the youth
one.
leagues.
Oh, come on, forget about it, right? So let's look at what's been happening in the Champions League. Break it down. Try to be like real football journalists here.
Yeah.
Real football. And Senzo is watching breaking news there. Group A, yesterday, superstar clash, Man City and PSG. Like we say, not a day to flop in Manchester for Pochettino. Maybe a sign of things to come. Maybe a sign of bad days to come in Manchester. I feel for, listen, I love Poch, right? I don't know if he comes to United, if he's going to be successful or not. Who knows? I do like him. I'm not saying he's going to be the best, but I do like him.
He's not going to be the best. On the anniversary, I like it.
I got to feel sorry for Poch with what's happening at PSG, because here's a guy who's got a definite way of playing. That playing needs a lot of energy, needs a lot of commitment. We said at the beginning of the season, Neymar and Mbappe are not going to give you that. Messi, forget what I'm even talking about. Those 3 are not going to give you the type of commitment and work rate that Pochettino.
Well, they're going to be like,
needs.
yeah, well, I'm the guy. Guys, I'm telling you now, it's Neymar. Neymar's the poison.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Because you see the way,
time and time again.
have you seen the way Mbappe and Messi work well together?
Neymar's just vibes. Listen, Neymar is going to... I would hate actually for Neymar to one day look back at his career. You know, I could have been the guy.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to be top 5. You know, he's going to
He's
probably
not
end his
even
career.
that.
But he's going to end his career as Brazil's all-time top scorer, Brazil's all-time appearance maker, maybe a World Cup, maybe even a World Cup.
In what universe?
You don't think Brazil are going into the World Cup next year as the favorites? Are you watching that side?
No, I am.
Brazilian teams do really well. They're not like the European. The European teams struggle to adapt to Africa, Asia when World Cups are there. Brazilians are cool. They get it. They're fine. They can go to America. They're very adaptable. I think Brazil, not only do they have a great side, right? They got a top coach because he's getting performances out of Fred.
But when was the last time?
He's getting
A
performances
team-
out of Fred.
When was the last time a South American team won a World Cup in Europe?
Back in Pele's day.
You see what I mean?
Back in Pele's day. But they're adaptable. Up until Spain, they were the only team to ever win a World Cup outside of their home continent.
Well, that's
Right.
because
Things have changed. Things have changed. It's very different. You had to listen. You had to get there by boat, by horse, by carriage.
Yeah, they won in America.
Be carried on the back of slaves. That's how they got to.
But
World Cup.
Argentina won outside their continent. Mexico, 86.
Technicality, right? It's a technicality until Spain came along. Listen, I got to tell you, Brazil, don't look very far.
Oh, well,
past
they're always
Brazil.
going to be favorites. The
Don't look
Selecao.
very far past Brazil for this World Cup. Listen, I mean, Richarlison, Rafinha, Gabriel
Firmino.
Jesus, they have got
They
everything
stacked, eh?
twice. They've got the two best goalkeepers in the world. They've got the two best.
And they distribute. Oh,
Who plays? You know what I'm saying? Brazil have got everything twice. They got everything twice. You heard it here first. For me, I do not look past Brazil as winners of the next World
Oh, my
Cup.
goodness.
They've got everything twice. They got everything, right? So, like you say, not a good day for Pochettino to have that performance. But City, just turn it on, man.
did you see Riyad Mahrez yesterday having the time of his life?
And
He was
against-
unbelievable.
Listen, PSG was set up wrong. I don't think as a team they structured properly, which is not good if you're looking at this guy to come take over the mess at Manchester United.
Guys, the City, you know what it does. Bar line, we're going to square it. Tapping.
It's the most, and Pep's been doing that since his Barcelona days.
They hug the touchline.
Replica goals, but they do it so well, so perfectly. Right? You can't get past them. So that is Group A. Group A is pretty much wrapped up. PSG and Man City both go through. RB Leipzig continue to flatter, to deceive. We keep hearing great things about this club. Are they going to challenge in Germany? Are they going to be the guys? Just a glorified marketing exercise. Group B. I'm going to pop it up there. James asked me, how do I feel about Porto losing to Liverpool? I think like how water is wet, Porto will lose to Liverpool.
Captain Obvious.
James, what do you think about that?
There's a couple of things in life that are inevitable. Liverpool winning.
This guy.
No, I'll take that back immediately. I'm just happy we won the group of death, which Senzo doesn't believe is the group of death.
And let's just say, not only did you win the group of death, you obliterated it. You killed the group of death.
Hey man, I'm just here. I'm just a supporter. It's not much, but it's honest work.
Liverpool
FC against Paris Saint-Germain.
Liverpool did not look uncomfortable for 1 minute.
Didn't break stride.
In this entire group. I'm not even talking about this game.
Did you see Salah put somebody in a washing machine and a tumble dryer?
So on Salah's goal, look, we're going to get to that. On Salah's goal, when that Porto player went on his backside, you just saw the whole Porto team go,
well, we know how this ends.
They just, as that guy lunged, the whole team went, done.
Oh, well.
We're done.
That's a goal, yeah.
But that was not the goal of the game. My God, guys. You could hit a football 1,000 times. You will never hit a ball.
Like Alcantara.
I mean, when your father is Maizinho, you got to know that the guy's got something, right? Maybe you haven't watched it yet. Maybe you haven't checked it out yet. If you're live
Do you know
right now,
you know if Thiago could have played for 3 countries, eh?
Spain, Brazil, and
Italy. He was born in Italy.
while his father was playing there. Yeah, good point. I want you to this is not good, right? But you deserve it. Some goals are so good. Pause this. If you're watching YouTube, pause this and just Google
That technique.
Thiago's goal against Porto. You're probably going to find it on some weird stream because UEFA like taking stuff off. You've got to check out that goal come back.
Grass cutter.
I even asked the guys because I'd watched it a few times, but I hadn't like paused any of it.
I thought it deflected off somebody.
I thought it didn't even touch the ground. I thought it like dipped and went up again. I thought it
Did some
defied.
funny glide on the grass.
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
It was
it caressed.
It caressed. No, that ball did
Some players are
things.
special, and oftentimes those players wear red. I'm just saying.
So, James, listen, I want to talk to you about Thiago because obviously he came in with a massive reputation. He's being linked with a unimaginative move back to Barcelona. He came in, this was supposed to be the guy. We saw the good things that he did at Bayern Munich. He never really took off at Barcelona.
Well, at Barcelona, there was
Xavi
Alpha
and Iniesta,
yeah.
he had no chance. So he never really took off at Bayern, came into Liverpool, and he was accused a lot of last season for Liverpool
Ghosting.
being crap because he wasn't moving the ball as quickly as they need. I
Yeah.
want to hear from James because Liverpool supporters love Thiago.
So you know what's interesting? I think more so than a lot of other nationalities, I for some reason feel like Spanish and Portuguese players struggle to find form in the Premier League.
No.
And he did struggle a lot last season, especially with injury and stuff. But the games that he did play, if you just watched him, his distribution and his controlling of the area that he was sort of set up to control, that like right sort of central area, and his sort of ability to slow down the game.
Yeah, he detects the tempo, yeah.
Yeah.
He says, guys, listen, you're going to play to my pace now. You know, no look passes. Like, Thiago's something special.
But is this not like there's a bit of a tactical evolution in teams that press, right? So the first round of pressing was manic. Everyone just presses hard.
It's crazy.
All the time. But it's changed a little bit now. That the press is activated at different times at different paces. And when
And
you're
in different positions, yeah.
right? And possibly this changed because even Liverpool have done it. Liverpool have adapted it. Chelsea adapted. All these even City have adapted.
Do you know who are the first team I saw do it? Dortmund under Klopp.
Well, that was that crazy press.
Yeah, that
right?
that super Gurgen
Right,
press. Yeah.
but they've adapted a little bit because it's killing players. You can't do it.
It's not sustainable. You
right?
can't
It's
play
not
like
sustainable.
that. Yeah.
So it probably coincides with Liverpool adapting slightly tactically with Thiago becoming a bit more of a linchpin. James, is he the key to your success this season, do you think?
If he has a very, very good season, I think by the end of the season, Liverpool fans will be asking, who's Genie Wijnaldum?
It's got to be all about Salah, though.
I was telling Ryan this morning, actually, dude, this man is...
He just gets it and he goes. And now he takes people on, not by pace now. He's just like, oh, okay, I can do this. Deft touch, right
man's
foot,
in
left
the
foot.
form of his life, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he's used the same skill to dribble
Everybody.
7 different players. and
Everybody.
all in the same area of the box.
Everybody. But he gets it and it's like, okay, touch. And sometimes they double up on him and it doesn't work.
Potent. It's potent stuff from Salah. Listen, you got to look. We don't know when the draw gets made next week, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Oh no, it won't be. I'm talking nonsense. The group's
Second
not
week
done
of December.
It's not done yet. It's second week of December. But you got to say, not only are City and Liverpool the best teams in the Premier League, City and Liverpool.
Or Chelsea.
And I still say it's City and Liverpool.
Chelsea.
No, I still think
Chelsea
City and
are
Liverpool,
organised.
I still think City and Liverpool, you're going to go a long way. The team that finishes above them in the Premier League wins the league. The team that beats them wins the Champions League. These are the two best teams in the world. Kills me to say it. So the rest of that group is Porto, Milan, Atletico Madrid. That group is still wide open.
Well, it's second place, yeah.
Wide open
Yeah,
for
because
in that group.
what Milan did yesterday, throwing a spanner in the works, eh?
What's going on at Atletico Madrid?
They've been figured out.
You think so?
They've been figured out.
Same coach, been there for a very
They've
long
been
time.
figured out. And they're very defensive.
They are very defensive. It doesn't, you've noticed teams, it doesn't help to be defensive anymore in VAR.
But especially
With VAR
like when
around.
you've got that kind of talent.
Do they have talent though?
Of course they do.
But do they really?
No.
Do they really have talent that allows him to go out and be freewheeling attacking?
Actually, no, but that's why All Black also makes all those saves.
That's what I'm saying. So we like to think, but Atletico Madrid, they got this talent. Luis Suarez, great. He had a fantastic season last season.
But he's not Luis
Age
Suarez.
is catching up with him. Griezmann is a busted. Griezmann's broken.
Yeah, mentally, yeah.
Who knows what happened with him?
confidence shot.
And Joao Felix is threatening to be a never been. You know, huge potential.
Never was, yeah.
It's not quite clicking. So do they really
And Carrasco's just in
have-
everybody's way.
Well, I don't believe you're a player who can go off and play in China and be motivated to come back and be a success in Europe. I'm sorry. So I know a lot of people go, oh, let's go, they need to change. But when you actually look at the makeup of that squad and their attacking talent,
Llorente's the only guy for me.
right? And is he really this attacking superstar? So I don't know. I think Atletico Madrid are doing what they're doing. That's huge there. Do Atletico ever pull the trigger on Simeone?
Nah.
You don't think so? Done too
Who
much.
are you going to fetch?
Too much credit.
Who are you going to fetch?
Forget about that. Clubs, they don't worry about who's next. They just worry about you're not the guy anymore. Hey, listen, if Atletico go out of the Champions League bottom of the group, there's a serious conversation to have. Serious conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe they win the La Liga again. Maybe Champions League is secondary to them. But that is not a good look. AC Milan, I love it. Listen, love AC Milan. Glorious team from the 80s and 90s.
Kessie.
Super club. Steven Kessie, best. Listen, aside from Salah, best African player.
Sadio Mane?
Nah, Kessie's better than me.
Mendy.
Kessie's better for me.
But Mendy.
Kessie's better for me.
Then Mendy.
Kessie's better
The
than
keeper
me.
Mendy.
What is that? What is that?
Can I just say, if someone was watching or listening to the podcast, all of that repetition was a lot.
Was a lot.
That was a lot.
Okay.
But
Thanks for the on the job.
repetition's the father of learning, James.
Say again?
Repetition's the father of learning.
Repetition is the father of lonely.
Learning.
Oh, I was going to say that makes no sense. But
Let's not repeat. Let's get into Group C. Ajax, top scorers in the Champions League.
Haller.
Sebastian Haller. What the hell is going on there?
He's Haller.
Guy, listen, he scored a lot of goals before coming into West Ham. Totally flopped out there. Didn't work it out. Goes into.
Now.
But again, now we're talking about Ten Hag, another guy linked to the Manchester United job. Why the hell are you leaving Ajax now?
No. Let it cook for a bit.
Are Ajax on course for another semi-final run?
Let it cook.
Let them do it. Let's see what happens.
Let it cook.
Let's see what happens. They've skipped the COVID year. Next year, everyone's finances
Let
are
it
back.
cook.
Asset strip Ajax and start all over again. Listen, I'm going to take a moment to speak
Dortmund,
about...
dude.
No. Dortmund were the losers to the glorious Lions of Lisbon. Sporting decimating Dortmund.
Skullduggery.
Taking them apart. So obviously what you're talking about is, I think what you're talking about is the incident where Paulinho, my namesake, goes down under a very not there challenge, right?
He kicked Emre Can and Emre Can gets sent off.
All I got to say here, children, this camera, I'm looking at you.
Well, Emre can't.
Emre can't. Uncle Paulo wants to tell you a thing about Portuguese footballers. If you are stupid enough to give them a chance to do that to you, you deserve everything that is coming your way. You don't even have to be a professional. Maybe you're going to go play indoor soccer tonight. Maybe you got some Portuguese friends. You guys get together on the weekend. Corsa, where's that club there in Krugersdorp? All the kids go play there. Ramsuk, you got a social team. There are Portuguese guys playing against you. If you give them a chance to dive,
Very smart guys.
skulldugger,
They're very smart guys.
shithousery, you give them that chance, they will take it. And you deserve everything you get. Emre
Can't.
can't believe that he got sent off for that. You give a Portuguese player a chance, he's going to do it. It's beautiful. I love it. Listen, the Sporting Lisbon story, I shouldn't have called them Sporting Lisbon. I know better than that. The Sporting story, 5 years ago, this club, right, the club president allowed hooligans into the change room to beat up players.
Good.
Right? We lost almost 200 million euros worth of players who effectively walked out of their contracts. And here we are, for the first time in our history, out of the group stage in the Champions League in not an easy group. Dortmund was supposed to win this group.
Yeah, they were supposed to walk
They were
it.
supposed to win this group. There they sit with a -6 goal difference. Sporting are, when you're a Manchester United fan, you actually forget what it's like watching your team being well coached. Sporting are as drilled,
But
as coached, as perfected a team as you're going to see.
But we all know that's like, that's the cauldron of Portuguese talent. We all know.
And we've
Luis
lost
Figo,
that. We've lost that. So this was a very bad period of management in the team, and Benfica have overtaken. You want to hear the players who've come out of Benfica over the past 10 years?
Oh, yeah, no.
Can I start naming? Edison, Alisson,
Ruben Dias.
Joao Cancelo, David Luiz, Di Maria, Bernard Silva,
Ruben Dias.
and I've probably forgotten a few others, right? 3 of the best players in the Premier League right now came out the Benfica Academy. Did not play a game for them. Bernard Silva played 1 game as a right back.
Where did João Felix come?
Joao Felix from Benfica. Renato Sanchez from Benfica. So Sporting lost that.
Paulo,
So
I love it when you speak Portuguese.
you do love it, hey?
I do.
You do love it.
Tô bem.
Maybe just now do a Ronaldo impression for you.
Obrigado.
Yes.
You can
Please.
take that home. Let's go to Group D. Real Madrid, Inter Milan dominating that group. FC Sheriff.
Inter Milano.
What happened in that game? I didn't watch the Inter game.
Edin Dzeko happened.
Edin Dzeko happened. He's just beast mode, that guy.
He's angry.
He just loves a goal. Karim Benzema, listen, the story's going on now.
Imagine
Obviously,
the convict.
we've been speaking about Karim Benzema, the sex tape case with Matthew Valbuena.
1 year
Couple of years
suspended
ago.
sentence.
Yep. A couple of years ago, some guys find a sex tape on Matthew Valbuena. Do you still call it a sex tape if you find it on a phone? Because you're not...
No, it's
James,
it's only
what's
fans.
your thought on that?
Well, what else would you call it if you found it on your phone?
Well, surely, I mean, it's a taping of a sex, because a sex tape is an actual cassette tape. You're too young to probably even think of cassette tape.
VHS.
I'm a good Christian boy. I don't even know what sex is.
No, very good, very good. Do you call it a sex tape if you find it on a phone? A sex video. Some guys found it. They threatened Valbuena. They're going to blackmail him.
Extorted him, yeah.
Karim Benzema was allegedly involved. He said it
Because they're
wasn't
his
him.
friends.
He said he was just trying to mediate and tell them, don't blackmail my friend.
You should have stayed out of it.
Should have stayed out of it. Lost his place in the French team. Was a pariah in French football for a long time. He's come back. He's the guy, possibly best player in La Liga this season.
He's the face of La Liga.
And
Good-looking Shalaboff.
he's been found guilty.
He's a convict.
1 year he's appealing it. But listen, this has been going on for too long. It needs to go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Shouldn't he just come out and say, look, I did it. I did it, make it go away, I'll pay a fine. I'll make a sex tape on my own that Valbuena can sell.
Well,
That's how I deal with it. Punishment must fit the crime. Punishment
balance the scales, eh?
must fit the crime.
Justice.
Bayern Munich, 15 points,
Clean.
19 goals scored.
Lewandowski has got
What the hell is going on at Bayern Munich?
Zubaban.
This is crazy stuff, along with Liverpool and Man City. And okay, not Ryan Reynolds. I'll put Chelsea in there. Bayern Munich, you're looking at, probably not looking at your final four, but you got to put those four. Bayern Munich are just so powerful.
They're a juggernaut, eh?
Nagelsmann is doing all the things, skateboarding into training.
Lewandowski just scoring goals for fun.
So listen, we the big debate on Player of the Year.
It has to be him.
Why? Why not Salah?
41 goals.
It's not goal scorer of the year. It's Player of the Year.
Well, we all know who should have won it last year.
Now, COVID won it last year.
Yeah, why? Because Lewandowski was goaling.
Yeah, but we're talking about this year.
James and Senzo fight. So, because if you're going to give it to Lewandowski, Anderson,
But Lewandowski scores all kinds of goals.
it's not goal scorer of the
Exactly.
year.
Then we're looking at the Pushkas or the Golden Boot or something else.
So how do you validate? Take away Lewandowski's
But Messi is going to win it though.
Take away Lewandowski's goals, right? Do you still give it to him versus Salah? Salah, yes, top scorer. Salah scores goals, but Salah does a lot of other things.
But Messi's going to win it though.
Take them out of it, right? So pretend we live in a fair and a just world, okay? Pretend Messi and Ronaldo aren't in the running for it. They're ineligible for, I don't know, sending dick pics to Sepp Blatter or
Wow.
something, right? So let's put the argument there. Lewandowski or Salah.
Or Jorginho. Or
So-
Kante.
No,
But
you've
why?
you've
Let's
got your
just
horse.
use Lewandowski and Salah. Why must we throw in Jorginho and stuff now?
Well, maybe you should bring in Jorginho. Ryan, not Ryan. Maybe Ryan, not Ryan. Reynolds wants to bring in Jorginho.
Ryan, do you want to bring in Jorginho? Do you think he's a Ballon d'Or winner?
No.
N'Golo Kante.
I would say Kante, but he's
Okay,
been
but- okay.
injured for a little while, so I'm going to rule him out as well.
So why would you say Salah, James?
Why would I say Salah? I feel like it doesn't matter what I'm about to say. 'cause
No, go
everyone's
ahead, bro.
just going to say I'm
No,
a Liverpool supporter.
No,
so.
go ahead, bro.
So outside of goal scoring ability, Salah is also a playmaker. Oh, I've still got this graphic on the screen. That's my bad. Salah is a playmaker, as well as a goal scorer. He's not just I can do a bicycle kick every second game or score 7 goals in 5 minutes, right? That to me is a pretty incredible strength to have. I'm not saying Lewandowski is a terrible player. I think he's good. I think he's incredible. I just think it's like Paolo says, this is not for the FIFA Golden Boot Award. It's for the best player, the player that's had the most
Impact on his team.
Exactly.
Good argument, Senzo. Why Lewandowski? You got to call him Lewandowski. You can't call him Lewandowski.
And
for
you
the
can't
argument.
bring in Jorginho or Kante or anything. We're doing
It's these
Lewandowski,
two.
Salah. That's what we're doing.
Lewandowski's carrying Poland by himself. Carrying it.
Salah's carrying Egypt by himself.
Yeah, correct.
No, Pitsom Siman is carrying Egypt.
Karoj technically is carrying Egypt.
So
To admit defeat, you got to give it. I know you
Nah,
hate
yeah.
Liverpool players. You got to give it.
yeah,
You've okay.
but
Let's
Salah's sensational, guys.
let's do it this way.
It's hard to watch, eh?
Let's do it this way, right? We are playing FIFA,
Right.
right? You get given one of those cards, the loot boxes,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you can only take Lewandowski or Salah. Okay, the rest of your team's rubbish.
Mm.
So it's when you start out and you're full of like Gillingham players, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can only take Lewandowski or Salah for your FIFA team. James, who do you take?
Salah every single day of the week.
Senzo?
Salah, fast.
Done. This is how they decide the world's best player.
No, seriously, because
you're building a FIFA
yeah,
ultimate team.
because we all know FIFA. Do you know what the cheat is on FIFA?
Do we know it's a cheat?
Just get pace.
Well, the whole of FIFA is a cheat. The whole of FIFA.
I don't know. I think outside of Salah, I think probably Lewandowski wins.
No, Messi.
What has Messi done, bro? He's won the Copa, whatever it is, and then
Pichichi, my man.
Bless you. This is the PTP takeover of the MKT show. It is the interim before the interim. Umbulelo Tinta is in Cape Town. We can track him. He's calling me a dictator on the comments. I'm not here for that. Drop us a comment. Help defend me on YouTube live right now. We're going to be back. We'll just go through the last few Champions League groups before we get into Paolo's weird world of football. And Senzo, we've loaded data onto his laptop so he can check out some social medias and tell us what's happening in the world of other sports. Maybe. Let's not be so selfish. Maybe people like other sports. Shame for them. Be back in a bit.
It's unbelievable.
Listen, live is live. If the camera's not going to mess up on you, the sound's going to go, or Sipo sitting there in the wings cannot switch off the air conditioner. Little peek behind the curtain. Listen, I want to know what you two miscreants were laughing at in the break.
We've found out that
Oh, this is a dead air. If you were on a radio station, the backup CD would have kicked in. Comment on the screen.
Ryan, what were we laughing at?
I was laughing at that comment that Mark left.
About Pogba.
That's the one.
I'll show you what we were laughing at.
Okay, but just there, I just want to give a shout out to my friend Ivan over there. I think it's his first time checking into the show. The man we used to call Balotelli. All the same skill as Balotelli, but a nicer guy. Imagine Balotelli's talent with Kante's temperament.
Best player ever.
That is my guy, Ivan, over there. Thank you for tuning in. This is what the guys were laughing at. Mark saying, I think if Senzo really could, he would vote for Pogba.
I hate you guys. You guys must go to sleep.
Senzo, you would though.
Lapioche.
Senzo, you would though. You took a long time to turn against Pogba. You're one of those guys.
I'm loyal, man.
You still think he could do it. If Pogba had to sign a new contract tomorrow, you'd still believe in him, wouldn't you?
Of course.
You see.
I'm surprised there's not a Pogba like cutout in the studio yet. Because I remember when Ronaldo just got signed, that was the first thing Senzo was looking for, was a Ronaldo. Remember, he was going to do the whole Ronaldo cutout thing. I don't know what happened to it. But I'm surprised there's not a Pogba one.
Oh, you know what? I love those periods of the season where Pogba's out for like 10 weeks and we don't have to like think about him. He's not a problem. You know, and then invariably he gets fit again when the transfer window's open. Have you noticed that? So he's out now. He will get fit again the last week of December. Have a great January. We think it's going to change. We think it'll be better. It never gets better.
It's the hope that kills you, man.
I'm terribly sorry. I know this is completely out of nowhere. But I just read something on Twitter that I think is really cool. And again, I'm sorry it's completely out of nowhere and has nothing to do with the Champions League or Paul Pogba. It's probably the furthest thing from both of those things. But I just saw this now on Twitter. Goal.com. Brentford have announced that they will not change their home kit for next season to save money and help the environment.
Well, isn't that lovely, Brentford?
They're saving the toidles that Ryan doesn't care about.
Do you know...
That's not true.
Do you know... Teams like Brentford and teams with hoops, those are annoying teams. I support one. Because the kit always looks the same. So how would we know if they didn't change it? Red and white stripes or red and white stripes?
True. Or they're white and red.
Well, see, there you go. I don't know if you guys saw the story, spoke about the story about the Premier League. There is a homeless charity that wanted on Boxing Day.
Yeah, no one's allowed to wear away kits.
Yeah, for the Premier League,
yeah.
the home teams to wear their away kits as part of an initiative to promote homelessness. Well,
Jesus.
Like nobody wants to promote homelessness.
What does it have to do with anti-homelessness?
But it's about not feeling at home.
Oh,
something like that. So all the home teams
homeless.
Yeah. So they don't want to promote homelessness. They want to promote being. They want to promote home.
It's topsy-turvy.
I'll stop that there. Okay, but listen, Ryan, why do you hate turtles?
No, I said this isn't true because when I went to Cape Town, I did have biodegradable straws.
Biodegradable?
Biodegradable straws.
You shouldn't even have that. You should have steel straws. My daughter tells me.
Steel straws? No. You see...
Don't steal straws. Straws made from steel.
My whole thing...
You get the straws for free. You don't have to... Why would you steal something you get for free, Ryan? You're a maniac. God damn.
He's a lunatic.
No, my thing is, where do people store these steel straws? Because now...
Wow, what did you like to know?
We have to add to... Like, everywhere we go, we have to take a straw with us now.
I got to tell you, it's a pain, right? So my daughter's into this thing, doesn't want straws. She's got steel straws. Listen, they're great. They look very nice. They're a pain to wash because stuff gets stuck in straws. Now, where do you keep it? Now, because you're a female and you have a bag, it's easy to put in there. If you're a guy, we're going prison rules here, guys. How do you get stuff in and out of prison? Where do you store your permanent straw?
This is what I'm saying.
We got to learn keystering.
Sis, man.
Even then, why would you want the straw? Like, guys.
Oh, the old prison wallet. The old prison wallet.
Stop it.
I was just merely pointing out to MKT that in Joburg, in Gauteng, we don't have turtles, so we shouldn't have to put up with all
But
that save the turtles nonsense.
You
When I was in Cape
understand,
Town-
water runs down, and we're up, and then water goes down to the sea where Cape Town is.
Yeah, but then just throw your straws away. Like, surely we have a disposable system that people
But they-
can come and collect straws.
But they don't, they stay forever.
You know,
'cause
the
they're single-use
government
plastics.
doesn't know service deliver.
Because we don't recycle in this country. So your straws never go away. That one straw that you had.
It's always the last straw.
Because you know what happens. You see, and Ryan's the problem. Because Ryan all weekend strawpedos. That's what this guy's doing. Okay, I got introduced to strawpedos this weekend. A brutal fruit strawpedo. And I know Ryan strawpedoing the whole weekend, single-use plastics. Yes, Ryan. Yes. And James, do you want to know what a
I
strawpedo
was
is?
going to
no,
ask what a strawpedo
What, have you
is.
never had a straw pea?
Ryan is going to tell James what a
Tell me what a strawpedo
Remember,
is, Ryan.
James has been living that healthy life for about 8 weeks. So, maybe he's missed on the strawpedo phase.
Probably, yeah.
It's
So-
matric rage. So if you're a matric, you're about to go down on VAC.
Yeah.
You're about to go start the 4th, 5th, 6th wave all by yourself by getting
Wave
by
'cause turtles.
exactly by playing tonsil hockey with Elise from grade 8. That's gross. But
Wow.
listen closely to what a strawpedo is from a man who I've heard they call him the Strawpedo King.
Okay.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Yeah, they call him that.
Your
They call him that was
information
humble brag.
from. But James, back in the day, what we used to do is, or it's even just before you hit a club. I'd
Well,
say.
back in the day, as in Saturday, this past Saturday. That's,
So, back in my days, they used to take, the spins.
Okay.
And then what they do is they put a straw in, they bend it over the side, and then you can down it, and then there's air coming through, so it doesn't have to stop. You can just sort of, all the motion I'm doing on the screen, I'm noticing we won't focus on that. But what I'm saying is, you can drink it straight without worrying about bubbles interfering the drinking process, and you can just down it straight away.
so James, it's like downs, but the clever kids who are miscreants and decided, the kids who get on their report card, lots of potential, like doesn't pay attention in class.
Yeah.
They figured out a way to actually now stop that when you're downing, that stuff comes back up on you. Now with strawpedos, it doesn't. It's just a continuous flow straight down the gullet.
And you get
You get knocked out.
torpedoes.
You get strawpedo.
Sure. That sounds intense.
Now, Ryan, you said that you can do it with a Smirnoff Spin. Okay, we don't necessarily, other brands are available. I did it with a Brutal Fruit. Okay.
That must have been
It did
brutal.
not make me feel tougher. I got to tell you.
Guys can drink pink drinks.
I got to tell you.
Dave.
Did not make me feel
Wait,
tougher.
but I have to ask, now, did you do a straw pedo with a metal straw?
No,
You
with the
can't,
plastic. This is the
man.
problem. The
So there
plastic
we
straw.
go.
I don't think you can be environmentally conscious and drunk at the same time.
Well, I think you just stumbled onto a good business opportunity.
No.
A steel straw pedo straw.
This is good stuff because it could be. I like that. Ryan's in with me.
Unbelievable.
Like we said earlier, you don't have to know how to make an iPhone to run Apple.
Exactly.
That's Ryan over there. So that's a public service announcement if you are heading down on matric vacation. If you're in matric, or maybe you're one of those creepy old guys. There's always that creepy old
Honestly,
guy
on his 8th vac.
that goes on vac.
Yeah. He's there for his 8th vac. And he's like, no, I'm in my 4th year at Wits studying marketing or something.
It's always weird because there's always the guy who finished matric the year before that goes, and even he's like, oh, you shouldn't really be here.
Yeah.
But then when you're like the 4th year and you're there, don't be doing that. Don't be doing
Trick
that.
vac, huh? Is that still happening this year?
They said it's happening. Only vaccinated kids can go.
Vax for vac.
That's why they call it vac, huh?
There you go. There you go. Well done. Well done, guys. Good to see that you've been paying attention. And yeah, it's still happening. Listen, they say that kicked off the 3rd wave last year. Matric vac. Lacabelito.
Gosh.
Have you heard how organized it is now?
Yeah.
Matric
it?
vac.
When I went, there was I can't remember if it was just before you had to buy tokens.
There's no cash.
Yeah.
It's all loaded onto a card
Yeah, yeah,
or
Oh yeah,
a
it's
band?
like Howler or whatever.
So you buy when I went, you buy your pass, like gold, platinum, or whatever it is, and then you load your money onto an NFC tag, and then to pay for stuff you just scan or whatever.
And you can't just randomly go into a club. You have to have this tag to let you in. Listen here, I don't know about you guys. I mean, a little bit older than you, but I mean, I was in no state. Is it a very easy process to do? Because I remember matric vac, like
You were getting
my days.
thundered.
Like I had no idea where I was going. We ended up in places in other people's cars. I don't know how I paid for things. I mean, is this you just basically walking around showing people your arm?
Kind of, not really. Also, I went with a group of friends where we did the thing that everybody else did, like went to the club that everyone went to and that whole thing. But then we also had nights where we were doing our own thing.
Right.
And we didn't need to show our arms or whatever.
So
Partying all the time, it's quite intense.
Yeah,
if
you get sick of each other as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Also the drama that
I
goes
got
down.
I got back from VAC, and I slept like 18 hours in a row.
kids,
No,
these-
because people were getting evicted at like 5 in the morning for throwing a TV outside a hotel. I was like, well, what do you expect, bro?
See, those are the kind of people like I try to avoid during my VAC experience.
but it happens though. It happens so easily. We broke a lift on ours.
Wow.
The
So
lift-
did we. So did we.
So the lift stopped. A guy freaked out because he's claustrophobic
Oh
and he
my
smashed the glass in the lift. But it was you know when you go to we were in Belito, and everything's old in Belito, and you get those lifts that like
Oh,
basically go up the height of this studio.
Oh my
I mean
goodness.
we're probably
Just take
about
the stairs then, Oaks.
like 4 meters or so, and it was one of those. So he like jumped like a meter, broke a lift. Anyway, that's matric vac. Huge tradition in South Africa. And there's
it's spring break for high school kids.
it's spring break for high school kids, 100%. People who are not emotionally ready for that amount of drinking and drama. Let's finish up the Champions League. Unbelievably, Manchester United are through with no real hassles. Can you believe it?
Imagine.
Villarreal and Atalanta in a final day shootout for that second place.
That's effectively a knockout game.
Really is. It is at Atalanta, and Villarreal cannot score goals. So missing a lot of players. Hopefully those guys could be back to swing it for them. Group G is a Europa League group. Let's be honest. And the worst thing is Sevilla are in there and they can't even get out of it. Why did they even bother? Why didn't Sevilla just go straight to Europa League?
Yeah, 'cause-
that's their happy place.
Yeah,
That's where they want to be.
I don't know, man.
That's where they want to
The
be.
grass is not always greener.
Just wants to be in Ryan's bosom. It's your happy place. Just go.
They're
there.
bosom buddies.
It's
Look
true.
at- look
it's
at
true.
them.
It's like MKT and Senzo.
Look at those two there. Look
Because
at
they do the show and they agree all the time. And oh no, you're right, and you're right. No, stop
He's
it,
jealous.
you're right. We're bosom buddies too.
bosom buddies. So Group G bores me to death. Group H, listen, I'm going to give some respect there.
Put some respect.
Or maybe I won't. I'm not getting caught up in Chelsea. I'm not getting caught up
who?
in Chelsea. I'm going to do it because MKT is not here. We spit on that scarf.
Very disrespectful, by the way.
I'm not getting caught up in Chelsea because every season there is a team that about this time of year, they turn the afterburners on. They dominate at Christmas. They say title over by February.
Yeah.
Give them the title.
Oh, but
on
they have to go to World Club
Valentine's
Cup.
Day. So, I'm not getting caught up in Chelsea. Don't get me wrong. They're playing fantastic football.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's such a big deal beating Juventus these days. 4 is impressive, but I don't know if it's that big a deal beating Juventus. And I'm not getting caught up in Chelsea.
Don't believe the hype.
Good. They're looking good, and I mean the way they've got their fullbacks playing, it's modern. I love it. It's great. I'm just not getting caught up in it. Ryan, fight me.
Can I just jump in, because even James and I were having this conversation the other day about Reece James.
Oh yeah.
He is on fire lately.
And he's a bastard.
Second best right back in the league right now.
Okay.
His reaction when he scored that goal. I mean, that goal was beautiful.
Second best right back in the league.
I'd say.
And Wan-Bissaka's first, obviously.
No, Jacques Cancelo.
Oh, Jean Cancelo's not a right back.
He's a false two.
Jacques Cancelo starts at right back. That's where he starts when he comes
False
out.
two.
Yeah. So Reece James, when he scored that goal, that celebration was cold. It was like I hate. How dare you be on the same field as me? How dare any of you?
No, but I mean, it's quite an impressive role he's having lately. Let's just say he's scoring almost every game he's playing, and even MKT calls him a BBW, but that's not stopping him.
No, listen, the way Tuchel has got that Chelsea team drilled.
They're organized.
And the fullbacks, and I don't know if a lot of people watched the analysis over the weekend of Chelsea and how they pressed them. Oh, no. Listen, don't get me wrong. They are playing fantastically well. They're changing players. Even Ruben Loftus-Cheek and I'm going to call him Datsun-Ahoy. I cannot
Hudson-Odoi.
Hudson-Odoi. Why can't I get his name out?
Ben Chilwell's also chiming.
I mean, they're bringing in tossed out players who are doing well, but I'm just not getting caught up in it.
Trevor Chalobah.
See what I'm saying?
Chalobah.
What?
Chalobah.
Well, I'm not going to correct because I had
Captain America.
But listen, well done to Chelsea, top of that group, top of the Premier League. Everything is going well, but I'm telling you, I'm not getting caught up in it. I'm not getting caught up in it. I still think.
Oh, we have them this weekend.
Carrick's
I was
at the
waiting
wheel.
for that, Senzo.
What are you worried about? Carrick's at the wheel. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Preview it. But
No manager, no problem.
I'm not worried about it. No manager, no problem. What they're going to do? Sack the interim to get in an interim. They're going to sack the interim. Who does that?
Give it to Karas till the end of the season.
This is Manchester United, where they will sack the interim before the interim. So that is the Champions League. Looking really hot, looking really interesting. Juventus also through in that group after taking a pasting. Sad fall from grace for Juventus. Ronaldo was obviously the problem there, like he is at Manchester United. Senzo, I don't know if you got any social media to get into as he looks panicked. He was looking at the screen just now. He got course corrected.
No,
Make sure you're not
just
always looking
LeBron.
at the screen. Stop, I'm looking for social media.
It's like LeBron. They're
Oh,
just talking about LeBron James, little baby.
What's he going on?
They're saying he's disturbing the Lakers dynamic, but he just dropped 39, 5-5.
What is going on in sports that guys who are doing their job are being blamed for other people not doing their job?
They're just making everybody else look bad.
Is that where we are now? So is this what happens when you do participation trophies?
Yeah, well.
That when you have GOATs and they are now being called out, say, oh, LeBron.
But goats eat everything, remember?
How dare you score so many points? How dare you still be so good? You're making everyone else look bad.
No, because
Hey, Ronaldo, stop scoring so many goals. You're making us look bad.
it's the money thing, bro. It's the money thing.
So, you listen, I heard you and Ryan having chat about this earlier. Maybe you want to bring Ryan in about Kobe and the Lakers and what's going on there. Let's get into the story. What are you guys feeling about the whole situation?
About what?
So, about LeBron now.
No, I like him. You can't dispute LeBron. You can't dispute LeBron. I don't know why Ryan's hating.
No, I just, like I've always said, I don't like sportsmen who think they're bigger than
He doesn't
the actual
though.
sport. No, he does.
But
Why would you say that,
Ryan? Why would you say that?
Because
Give a
he
bit of a
uses-
background on the story. Let's give a bit of a background on what we're talking here.
Well, he uses a lot of his platform for many other things aside from actual sports.
But he performs.
But he's still
No, he
performing
does
though.
perform, but I mean, he also causes a lot of trouble. Look at what
Like?
just happened.
Like
about,
what?
Beginning of the week.
Guys, I'm not into basketball, and Paolo's right. We need context. I don't
No.
know what we're talking about.
LeBron James punched that guy in the face.
Oh,
but-
I saw that. That was wild.
yeah. But I mean,
That was wild.
nothing will happen to LeBron James because he's LeBron James.
But
And
that's
if
like the
he-
first thing he's done. Like you never hear bad stuff about LeBron James, ever, hardly. You can only critique him on his game.
But that's also another problem. Is like the fact is no one will say anything bad about him because if you really make him angry, then you're gonna cause other riots. Like they won't say anything bad about LeBron James because he's bigger than, or he thinks he's bigger than the actual sport. I'm not just being harsh about LeBron James. I don't like a lot of sportsmen who think they're bigger than the actual sport themselves.
So
I used to not like Ronaldo when he was first at United because he had such a big ego.
Because he was the best player in the world at 23.
Maybe so, but I just didn't like that fact. Like again, you like football made you what you are. Don't now undermine football.
He
But
doesn't
now,
though.
if you look at him, he's taking more of a leadership role, and I like that. LeBron James, he just gets angry and he's
Ronaldo's one of the biggest givers. Like, he's so charitable. He's so charitable.
Yeah, when he wants to be.
Right. Looking at some of the comments on YouTube, Ivan saying that Brentford should sign Greta Thunberg.
You think so?
What do you guys think? Listen, as Greta Thunberg, nothing makes middle-aged white men angrier than Greta Thunberg, so I shouldn't be commenting on that. But maybe Brentford should be bringing her in. We know we got a lot of Chelsea fans listen to the show.
The whole of Africa has just cancelled Klopp.
Why have the whole of Africa cancelled Klopp?
He called AFCON that little tournament.
What did he do?
He called AFCON that little tournament in
I was wondering why it was trending this morning.
Not the homie. Not the homie, man. He was this close to walking away from Liverpool with no issues. Not the homie, dude.
Yeah, reporter demanded an apology from him.
Oh, that's so sad, dude.
Patrice Motsepe is on the phone right now. Jurgen Klopp, how dare you call my legacy project a little tournament? Listen, I'll never understand managers. They've been doing this for years. It was Arsene Wenger. Sam Allardyce got into it. They all have a go at it. When you sign an African player, understand that an African player wants to play in the AFCON. Don't be surprised and angry when they want to represent their country, which is their right to do. It's not their fault the scheduling sucks. It's not their fault. You can't hold it against the player, and you can't hold it against the tournament. Is the AFCON a great tournament? I don't know. Is it a silly time of year? Yes, right? But you can't decry the players. James, Klopp cancelled. Klopp out.
So, I'm so sad about it, but your friend Ivan in the comments says Klopp was right, so that happened.
Now, Ivan's Zambian, so I think it gives a broader perspective on this, right?
So I do know that Klopp, in his press conference last night over the game, he said something along the lines of, "It's a big tournament and we lose some of our best players." So I think that was him. I'm not trying to defend him. I'm giving more context to that.
No, look, I'm pretty sure it was taken out of context. We understand how these things work, but I mean, there is a dismissive attitude towards AFCON, right?
Yeah.
And I think as South African football supporters, we are fans of it. Oh, Bafana even in it now.
Well, aren't we appealing?
Oh, yes, because it was linked, because your World Cup qualifying impacted on your AFCON placing. Listen, I just think if you, especially Liverpool, come on, Klopp, you can't now, what are we talking about, 6 weeks before the tournament, act surprised and clutch your pearls when the tournament's been set for January for the past 2 years and you've had more than enough opportunity to kind of rely on African players. Your two best players are African players.
Exactly.
It's not AFCON's fault that you haven't accounted for it.
Yeah, no, they took him out of context, but yeah, some journo.
Well, Ivan saying Klopp was actually standing up for AFCON. So, who is right, Ivan, or did Senzo and James get their facts wrong? Is this a non-story? Have we just wasted our dear listeners' time?
He's trending, though. I was telling you what was trending.
Well, I can buy you a trend. Do you want a trend? Give me 5,000 Rand. I'll get you trending.
Oh.
Just send me a photo. I'll get you trending.
Hakim Ziyech is not going to go to AFCON, though. Yeah, they'll fall out with the Moroccan coach.
But he always does. Hakim Ziyech is a one-man wrecking crew. Listen, let's find out what that story is about. But I think the broader picture is that you should not be complaining about AFCON. When you sign an African player, understand this is going to happen. Umbelelo Gavin there saying AFCON to some of us is special and we follow it, although I do think he was misunderstood. Listen, AFCON, every confederation is allowed having a tournament.
Of course.
Right? It's not the players' fault that the tournament's put in a stupid place.
And also, it's not their fault that they come from that continent.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I just think right now, in this day and age, is the AFCON still sitting in January? Okay, I know it was before because...
But some of the leagues are weird, eh?
Well, in a broader picture, I think you got to make that sacrifice because you're quite right. A lot of leagues in Africa run in winter, right? Would run in winter and it would disrupt them. And I also know for other reason was it's the rainy season. So it also made it very difficult to host a tournament.
Yeah.
But I just believe that these days, surely we should be a bit more sophisticated to shift it around. But I just feel that the fix is simple. Move the tournament. Move the tournament. You know, all due respect, like, listen, there's great leagues all around Africa. No problem about it. But the European leagues are bigger. You know what? And it's not a Europe-Africa thing. It's just like, that is where world football is, right?
The money, chief.
You know, like, let's stop the Senegalese second division for 3 weeks. I think we'll be okay.
We'll survive.
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
You know, so move the AFCON. Solve the problem. Patrice, get on the phone. Get him on the phone. Where's the phone?
Pick up the phone.
Let's call Patrice. Let's get him going. Knock my balls all over the place, yeah.
He'll buy you. He'll buy you.
Oh, if only. Hey, listen. We are... Any more social media stories? We've got to kill 2 minutes before we get into Paulo's world of football. Because I got a good one.
James has one.
James has got one. Let's do it.
So we did speak about this just now, but that's cool. The fact that Ajax, Liverpool, and Bayern have won 5 out of 5 group stage matches. Can they go all the way? I think they're the only 3 teams to have done it in the Champions League this season so far. So it'd be dope if we did.
Hey, listen. They say form is temporary, class is permanent. Those are Ajax, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, European dynasties.
The talk is... Sorry, just saw this now. PSG have started discussions with Zinedine Zidane to attract the 3-time league champion to replace Mauricio Pochettino.
So let's wrap up that Bayern, Ajax, Liverpool. I mean, those are dynastic teams. Well done. I hope they go all the way. I love seeing it because those are teams with real crazy legacy, dominated the Champions League at various points. So the story on Zidane is that PSG are happy to let Pochettino go as long as they can get Zidane in at the time. Now, Zidane's wife wants to continue staying in Paris. Pochettino's wife still lives in London. She has not moved over. He's living in a hotel. Listen, it is easier to get to London from Paris than it is to get to London from Manchester.
That's true.
But that's how the story goes. Listen, all of that makes sense. But what will happen to the interim? What about poor Valverde? What about poor Carrick? The interims for the interims.
I don't know, man.
Guys, think of the interims. If we don't take time in our lives to think of the interims, the guys before the guys. Who are we? What are we as a society? Next thing, we're finding turtles and stabbing them with metal straws. Right? Nobody wants this. Paulo is doing a castaway with my football. This is how we're going to end the segment. Robin, I am. This is my ball. We have been friends for quite a while. Yo, expensive balls feel nice. Especially ones from Spain. This is the interim of the guy before the guy. PTP on the MKT Show. My weird world of football coming up after this. I wonder if the logo has been changed. Oh, I just seen James's face. It hasn't. Prepare to be disappointed. Put the spinny things on, James. God damn it. Hey Patrice, yeah, I'm on air right now. The guys are angry about AFCON. They're upset. Sort it out. That's what they're saying to me. I'm just the messenger. Speak to you later. BT dubs is what the kids say.
BT dubs.
Lots of chat in the comments about AFCON. It has certainly triggered some people. We don't know if Klopp hates it or not because of our stellar reporting crew over here. This is what I rely on. We were able to switch the aircon off in time. I've got to tell you, Sipo, who is our camera guy, what a super camera guy, shit at air conditioning, because he's wearing a beanie and a jacket with the fur, and this is the guy controlling our air conditioning.
Imagine.
It's a nightmare. It is a nightmare in here. We are so cold, even Senzo is wearing pants.
Wow.
And we know how he...
Well, some of us don't lose our balls, eh?
This definitely 13 rating on today's episode. Listen, Palu's Weird World of Football. My name is Palu. I like football and I like weird stuff. Okay? And that is a logo. That is indeed a logo. Not much has changed from last week, but you know what? I think once you've reached a level of nirvana, you cannot go higher than that, right? Once you've produced the Black Album, you cannot produce something after that.
That's true.
Once you have produced the Lonely Hearts Club, you cannot go further than that. This is what has happened with this logo. You know, if there is ever a reason to watch the YouTube show rather than the podcast, I love podcasts. I'm an audiophile. I said. An audio guy. I love sound. I love listening. But my God, you got to be watching this so you can see this logo. It is a monstrosity. It is pictures of me. I have wigs. I have 3D glasses. I have over-embellished beards. The logo is a nightmare. It looks like it was done like by a 5-year-old or on like
Paintbrush.
Windows 95. It's glorious. I love it. So anyway, we're going to get into Palu's Weird World of Football. I didn't even know this when I set this up, right? Mm-hmm. Today is the anniversary of George Best's death.
This is correct.
Passed away, unfortunately. There he is, Georgie Best, the Belfast boy.
The fifth Beatle.
The fifth Beatle. Now listen, I've spoken to people who saw George Best play, right? Mm-hmm. Same people saw Bobby Charlton play, Brian Robson, Cantona, Ronaldo, Rooney. They say George Best is the best player they've ever seen playing for Manchester United.
Well, he did it
Take
while he was
away
drunk.
the obvious pun, right? But I think it was even before that. You know, you got to remember how violent football was. You couldn't tackle it all. People were trying to hack him. You watch old videos and you see how many times people go in waist high. And I'm not
flying kicks.
You know what I'm saying? And he rode them. He just glided. A lot of people say that he was the best Manchester United player ever. Never played in a World Cup, but they say if he did, he probably could have dragged even a team like Northern Ireland quite far. So we know the story of George Best. Came over to Manchester United when he was 15 years old. Very shy boy. Was painfully shy. Great footballer, and was part of the first round of the second Busby Babes.
The Holy Trinity.
And then the Holy Trinity with Dennis Law and Bobby Charlton. Now, he wins the European Cup in 1968. I think not long after that, he won World Player of the Year. And the guy was top of the world, Al Beetle. The Portuguese press called him Al Beetle. They called him the fifth Beatle. He was the first superstar footballer.
Yeah.
You know, the first guy that really crossed over.
Yeah, they're iconic.
Right. Girls had posters of him on their walls, not in football kit, right?
Absolutely.
He had fashion boutiques. He dated models. He drove sports cars. Today, we take it as given, but he was the first one.
Rock star. He was a rock star.
To do that, right? Total rock star. But of course, it was a bit too much for him, and part of that came a partying lifestyle. He first started drinking, allegedly, because to stop being so shy. He was so painful.
Yeah. I've heard about that as well. Yeah.
Right? So he'd start having a drink or two just to loosen up and socialize. And that it just led to a problem. He just never was able to recover from it. And unfortunately, the lessons of George Best, there had to be a George Best to stop it happening to other people.
Sure.
So, you know, when other players like Ryan Giggs kind of was the next one, but people already had this experience to go, okay, let's make sure this doesn't happen.
This doesn't happen, yeah.
And we don't see that happening often. Of course, you know, alcohol isn't as big a part of football, professional football culture as it was back then. So now, George Best, 1968, he wins the European Cup, top of the world. Manchester United are the best team in the world. By 1974, Manchester United were in huge trouble.
Maya.
Right?
Dire straits, eh?
You think we've dropped off now?
Gee, we fell off properly, eh?
Terribly. An aging squad, an iconic manager left, bad appointment after bad appointment. Yeah. We're going to see it again. But Manchester United has never fallen off as a football team. Manchester United were in a mess. George Best was in a mess.
Yeah.
And now we're talking, by 1974, he was 28. And 28 years old, and it was done. Tommy Doherty, who had taken over from, it wasn't immediately after Busby, but the one after, had enough of George Best.
And he said, get out.
He says, we can't do this anymore. The guy's never around. He misses training. He's an absolute mess. He's a disaster. I want him out the club. So now you're thinking, Senzo, surely Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus.
Somebody in Italy.
A French team. Even the French teams had money then. Marseille. Surely someone will come in and take George Best. Nothing. No offers arrived. For whatever reason, we don't know. It wasn't common for British players to move around then. George Best gets a call from a very strange source. So at the same time, South Africa was banned from international football, right? We were banned for apartheid. We weren't part of anything. And South African football effectively didn't exist in the world of football. Fun fact, South Africa was a founding member of AFCON. Right? So we were banned from football. Our football didn't exist. And but the leagues were going. And the leagues were segregated. White league, black league, colored league, as they called it. And the white league in particular was very wealthy. Okay?
Whoa.
No, ridiculously wealthy, because South Africa, by virtue of effectively being in a bubble and being cut off from the rest of the world, could massage their own economy. So there was a lot of money in South Africa, and there was a lot of money in the football clubs, specifically in the white football clubs. And they found a loophole. So now the South African League runs in conjunction with the European League, but then it was a winter league. So in the Northern Hemisphere summer. So they found a loophole where they were approaching top European players and saying to them, look, you guys have got 3 months off, because they had 3 months off. Now players maybe get 6 weeks. They had 3-4 months off. They said, got a deal for you. You can come to South Africa as a guest player, short-term contract, play 5 games. We'll pay you a lot of money. We'll split the gate fees with you. Come live in South Africa, get the sunshine. Even though it's winter, the weather's better than there.
Sure.
Pay you a lot of money. Keep yourself fit. You don't contravene any rules. And then you go back, right? Listen to the list of players that came over at that time. Both Jack and Bobby Charlton.
Really?
Both of them came here. Bobby Moore. England's World Cup winning captain. Kevin Keegan. Sir Stanley Matthews. He came over a lot of time.
Yeah.
Stanley's boys, I'm sure you've heard. Sir Stan's boys, I'm sure you've heard that story. Even Roy Hodgson.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace. I can't remember their names.
Eddie Lewis?
Eddie Lewis, he a different way, but yes, Eddie Lewis. There were 3 German players who got banned from playing in Germany for match fixing. So to keep fit, they came down here, played here, and 2 of them went on to win the World Cup with Germany.
That's crazy.
Right? Eusebio played here. He was one of the guest players.
Well, home is right next door.
That's what I'm saying. So this was happening all the time. So in 1974, little club, who had just been promoted to the first division called Jewish Guild. They're up here in Johannesburg. Oh, no, they were in Cape Town. Sorry. No, they were in Johannesburg. I'm lying. They were up here in Johannesburg. They heard about the situation, had some contact in Manchester, and said, let's go out to George Best. Let's say, George, do you want to come over? Same deal. Get the son, get some money, meet some South African woman, play a few games, go back, fit, maybe find yourself a club. George Best says, Hal, what I got to do? What I got to lose? It's a couple of weeks in the sun in South Africa. They're going to pay me a lot of money. And here rose the story of George Best playing for a club called Jewish Guild in South Africa. Now, Jewish Guild were a mid-table kind of side. Yeah. Right? So the first game, George Best comes down to South Africa for, I think they signed him for 3 or 4 games, is against a team called Rangers, which is a big team at the time. Jewish Guild rented out the Rand Stadium. Still standing, the Rand Stadium, 30,000 seater. Because and Rand Stadium was the mecca of white South African football. The cup finals were there, right? It was the place. It was the Wembley.
It was the cauldron, Right?
They rented out for the games George Best was going to play because they were just so confident people were going to watch him. 30,000 tickets sold for his first game. You imagine, think now. Messi's going to come to play in South Africa for a local team.
FNB Stadium.
Right? This is what we're talking about. So this is George Best. His first game. What do you think happened when George Best lands in South Africa?
Stampede. Utter pandemonium.
No, so he gets given this beautiful apartment in the middle of town. Now, I mean, middle of Joburg town was the place to be. It's a bit of a slum now. He partied. He partied, missed his first training session, arrives for the first game drunk. And straight away, a local stripper latches herself onto him. Her name was Ultraviolet.
Imagine.
Local stripper called Ultraviolet. Of course, George Best is coming to town. Local strippers are going to find him, right? Listen to Ultraviolet. They're going to do her best. Ultraviolet was a regular in the local courts on charges of public indecency.
Well.
While the club officials hoped Best's lifestyle, as much as his ability, would provide some publicity and ensured bums on the seats, they were already worried that Miss Ultraviolet was going to sort of disrupt George Best in South Africa. And it didn't end well. There was a case of public indecency. She did latch on. His name got caught up into it. He didn't quite get arrested, but it wasn't the best start to his career. The next game, he goes down to Durban City. Durban City were a powerhouse at the time, one of the key teams in the league. It was their second game. They win 2-0. George Best didn't score, but played well. People were able to see, okay, now we're watching George Best. And then his third game was just in front of 8,000 people at Balfour Park.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah.
Just up the road. I think it's a shopping centre now, actually. Yeah. I don't think the club exists anymore.
Yeah. Isn't it Highlands Park now?
I think they sold out, but the venue, the location of Balfour Park, the old stadium, is now a shopping centre. And that was it for George Best in South Africa. Played 3 games. There is, we might even be able to get him on the show one day. We might even be able to get him on the show. Was it, Robin Badger asking, was it as big as Wembley? No, 30,000 seater. It's a beautiful stadium. I think Orlando Pirates train there. I think it's a training ground.
Yeah.
Or maybe not since Orlando Stadium, but I know the team, the teams do use it as a training base. It was a 2010 World Cup training base. Great, beautiful stadium. Great stadium. Had a makeover. And George Best's journey in South Africa was over before it
even began.
We maybe might be able to get him on the show one day, but there is still here is George Best's teammate for that period. We played with him. Local guy. Maybe we should look at getting him on the show and actually hear the stories from him, because he says it was like a 2 or 3 week period, but he says there were stories. There were stories upon stories, all right, of George Best's time in South Africa. If you've never heard that story before,
having his best time.
Did you know about that, Senzo?
No.
Ever hear about George Best playing in South Africa?
No.
James, Ryan, ever come in your wheelhouse?
No. I think it's probably the last person I would think would come here and play football.
Fantastic story. Listen, all those stories of when those guys came here, the stories are legendary. I've heard stories of Eusebio taking a shot so hard it broke a crossbar because they still
What?
played with wooden goals. I've heard of another time Eusebio miskicked a ball and it ended up out the stadium and in a house 2 blocks away. Listen, every story gets better. But it was a really interesting period in South African soccer. And now you can tell your friends, hey, listen, I heard about the time when George Best played in South Africa. Maybe we'll get one of his ex-teammates on. I've got his number in my phone.
Nice.
We can maybe get him on and hear a bit more about that. From there, George Best went on to Dunstable Town, Stockport County, went to Ireland to play for Cork City, the Los Angeles Aztecs, Fort Lauderdale Strikers, San Jose Earthquakes,
Yeah, I heard about San Jose.
Hibernian, Fulham in the second division.
He was.
Hong Kong,
He's a traveling man.
Bournemouth, Australia, but effectively retired from top level football at 27 years old.
27 club, eh?
27 club. MKT, oh my God, we're going to get some poke high stories a la Al Bundy. Balfour Park score me saw 4 goals with the flu once for Randburg. I'm basically George Best with a tan.
Shut the hell up.
Sounding like Al Bundy, 4 touchdowns in a game.
Shut the hell up.
That's good stuff.
Well done, MKT. 4 goals against Balfour Park with a cold. Listen,
He thinks he's Michael Jordan.
even I scored against Balfour Park. But I mean, listen, that's impressive. That's good, impressive stuff.
You're simply the best.
Simply the best. So that is the story of George Best. Unfortunately, listen, 16 years since he passed away.
R.I.P. to the homie.
Yeah, sad day, sad man with demons. James,
So I've also seen today on Twitter is also the anniversary of another small footballer. You may have heard of him, Diego Maradona. Today's the anniversary of his death too.
What?
It is. It is, yeah. They passed away on the same day. Maradona a year ago.
Yeah.
Passed away on the same day as George Best.
One liked the bottle, the other one liked the snow.
Hey, listen, genius is going to get you. I know what it's like. I know what it's like living with genius and dealing with our demons. My demon is called James Ilsley. That's what
True.
my demon is called.
It's true. I do give good hugs though.
Good hugs. James's battery is going flat before. Look at that little red flashing.
It's so disappointing to look at.
Flat battery. Badly prepared, guys. Get yourselves some rechargeables. Don't buy your batteries from Crazy Store.
It's because you know why the batteries die in Paolo is because you, as our fearless leader, weren't here to tell us to make sure we had rechargeables.
It's only day 1. I indoctrinate you on day 2.
Oh right, I forgot.
Day one is to suss you out.
Tonight's the initiation ceremony, right?
Bring your scalpels. Bring your scalpels and a big towel. It's gonna get untidy.
Oh no.
Listen, I'm ill prepared because I think some of our social media handles have changed. I'm sure you can still find us on the old ones. I should have got them. But just look out for the MKT Show on all the social media platforms to give us a follow and give us a like. Tell a friend, show a friend.
Be a friend of the show.
Be a friend. Senzo, listen, before we wrap up, let's maybe look at any more social media stories. Has Klopp been cancelled?
No, it hasn't been cancelled. But Rassie Rasmus is just out here living his best life as well.
So what's the latest with him? What the hell's
He's
going
been
on?
banned from all rugby activity for the next 2 months.
It is just scandalous.
Because he was character assassinating somebody.
I mean, that is just scandalous,
Yeah, it's just,
right?
it's showing him having a beza, having a long lunch.
But now which, is this the video of him in front of the South African flag?
No, well, now it's him with a certain beverage, adult beverage.
Listen, you got to know that Russie's got some good video skills. He's got somebody who can put together the videos. So he's just making himself a meme. What do you think happens? I mean, you peel the whole thing. There's no way this is going to hold.
Oh, this is just in breaking news.
You wait, you got Fabrizio Romano over here.
No, it's
Here we go.
bigger
Here
than-
we go.
Health Department confirms new COVID-19 variant detected in SA.
Is that Pochettino? What are we doing here?
No, it's health-wise. It's 14 minutes ago.
Listen, it's going to get you. It's going to happen, guys. I've heard 14th December we'll officially enter the fourth wave in South Africa.
Fellow South Africans.
Conveniently a week
After
James gets back from
America.
VAC. No, VAC. Yeah.
Wow.
James, what are you looking forward to most at VAC?
Just the vibes.
Vibes, eh?
Umhlanga is definitely a place where the vibes are high.
You're not doing Plet?
Nah.
I thought you'd be all over Plet VAC. Listen, if you're an international listener, you don't know. Umhlanga is kind of like low rent Miami, while Plet is kind of like Martha's Vineyard.
It's true.
It's kind of like the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I decided I was going to save some money and do Umhlanga.
Okay.
It's going to be vibes.
Just vibes. Vibes Ilsley over there.
Vibes Eelsley. that's my new I'm going to change my Instagram and all my socials to Vibes Eelsley.
You got to do it. You got to dress for the job you want. And then of course
Fake it till you make it.
And then of course
what if I just don't want to get dressed for my job at all?
Yeah, no. Listen. Some people do that. Some people make a living out of it. And it's an honest living. It's a tax-free living.
OnlyFans.
Listen, I want to pitch an idea. Like, we're going to turn this into a little bit of a Shark Tank just before we go. I may be looking for investors in this. Now we don't carry change, right?
Yeah.
No, we don't. I mean, like, it's very hard to carry change, but now you don't want to really carry change because everything's cashless. You're not really touching things, right?
It's true.
So I feel in South Africa we've got this anomaly called car guards, right? We don't have meter maids. In other countries, you'll have a meter maid. You stop, you have to put some money in a meter. South Africa, we don't have that. We got actual gentlemen walking around watching your cars, and you should give them a tip, right? They make sure cars are safe. They make sure things run properly. But you never have change to give these guys, right? They should have a QR code on a vest. Now, listen, I understand I'm dehumanizing people to being nothing more than a walking billboard. I got a hard no from Senzo. Is it for that reason that you don't want to dehumanize
You're asking people to get mugged and fraud and...
Why would they get mugged?
Imagine now you got your phone out now.
But your phone's out anyway. So I'm not thinking, Senzo, I don't know where you go. So I'm thinking I go to the supermarket. I'm not in town. I'm not by Ivy Violet, George Best prostitute. I'm not with her. I'm at a supermarket, and there's the gent. He's helped me, and I want to give him a tip, but I don't have change. I can snap scan it. Ryan, you're a man of the people.
Toidles, but a man of the people for sure.
Yeah.
Are you investing in my idea?
I think it's a good idea.
Like a tag round the neck. You can just...
Is it just to pay people?
Just snap scan people. We should all do that. We should all...
Don't they have that in like America? It's called like Cash App or something like that, where they just put a username in and send money over.
They got things like Venmo.
Yeah, Venmo's also one.
That's a first world country, guys.
No, we have kind of things like that built into our banking apps, but they're hella difficult to use. Cash wallets, oh my God, you got to log in 7 times, give a finger.
With the price of data as well. Come on, guys.
Forget about it. I think Venmo is quite good. So I've got a no from Senzo. I've got a yes from Ryan, not Ryan Reynolds. James, you're the swing vote. This is Shark Tank. Are you Mark Cuban? Are you investing in my business?
Here's what I think we should actually do.
That's a hard no from James. Okay, I'm preparing for it. I love your idea, but...
So I saw on TikTok, Take a Lot, which for international viewers is an online e-commerce website.
It's kind of like Amazon without the exploitation.
Yeah, you can
Amazon without the slavery.
You can buy quite literally anything in the world, but they don't have drones. So
oddly specific.
On Take a Lot, they actually had a special this week for portable like card machines.
Yes.
But not the ones tied to a bank like Nedbank or FNB or anything. They're a different brand all on their own. And they were selling those for about 250 odd rand. So here's my thought. Okay. So we raise some money, or we just put some money together, either way, and we buy a bunch of them. And then we rent them out for like 10 rand a day. Right? And then, I mean, it'll take a while for us to get to some profit, but because I did maths lit, and I didn't actually do the numbers. But
you're the ideas guy. James, you don't need to know how to make an iPhone to run Apple. Just remember that. Now listen, I think your idea has merit, right? And I'm sure we'll do the numbers and it'll come out in the wash, as they say. I noticed some subtle product placement. Why don't you just take the money that energy drink
Honestly, that they're paying
manufacturer is paying you and invest in my business? Because there is no other reason for you to hold up your can in our segment on your quickly draining battery other than you are being paid. You are in the pocket of big energy drinks, James. Scandalous. You heard it, yeah?
Also, I don't think this can. You can't call this an energy drink.
This is
Cucumber flavored.
This is a scandal. It's the flavored soda water. What is going on?
Wait, are we saying that James is taking secret deals in the show that none of us are taking, and he's just subtly throwing them in?
Hey, man.
Listen, I know product placement when I saw it. Now he's covering it. Just now I got a full shot. I saw the barcode. I saw the Instagram. This is scandalous stuff. I've lost control after one day. This is what happens with the interim manager. Do you think the players are running for Carrick? They're not. This is what's happening. Product placement on the show and not sharing the spoils. Not even a t-shirt.
I've got to make a passive income too.
No, but it should go. Don't we have like a joint account in the show?
What?
Well, James just bought 10 credit card machines.
Yeah, actually, where's the money for this credit card?
The sponsorship that I just that period of holding up the can paid it off. We fine.
James, who is your sponsor? Give him a plug. Come on.
It's called Pura Soda.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
And it's like soda water. It's
This is just very
Seaport
disappointing.
described it as what did he describe it as? Healthy soda is what
Yeah.
he called it.
Yeah.
It's quite nice actually.
Listen, I'm here all day for it. And you know, if anyone from Pura Soda, if this finds its way to you, we'll drink that all day, right? We'll wear t-shirts. I'm sure you seem like the sort of company that's got promotional frisbees.
Yes.
We'll do some Instagram reels with your James is drinking it right now. James is going to go into the microphone. Refreshing.
Oh, wow.
Look at him.
Unbelievable.
Oh, but you see, it's awkward because the tab is on this side, so I can't show the brand. But I'm going to do this.
Well, you've been showing the brand the whole time.
This is a damned nightmare. There you go. Hey,
Wow.
we're even doing ASMR for them.
Imagine.
This is big stuff. Robin Badger asking how much. It's
can't
already
say.
working. Affiliate program.
Oh wait, how much for the drink?
Yes.
No. Don't plug them.
No. Actually, spit it out, because I want to hear this.
Oh my goodness.
How much are you spending on cucumber flavored water?
Well,
More than you should.
it's cheaper. It's cheaper than a store that is known for being super healthy. And
$17.99.
a little cheaper.
15.
Yes.
$14.99 or
Yeah.
$14.99.
You realize water's free.
No, but
Ryan, you don't drink water, so you can't have a say.
I'm just saying, if people are going to drink water, it comes out for free in the tap. You don't have to go buy a canned version of it. If Coke came out of the tap, you'd see me against the tap all the time. That's
Rates and taxes.
all I'm saying.
Guys, I've never.
must be nice to live in Joburg and open your taps and water comes out. This is a huge privilege for us. Listen, if you're Pura Soda, the people from Pura Soda, like I say, I feel you have promotional frisbees. You want to give that swag out for Christmas. We're here all day for promotional summer swag.
Unbelievable.
You got to send it to the show. We're here. If you have another competing brand, we'll work it in. This is called product placement. This is big
Advertising.
content. This is big.
Massive.
Pura Soda, you just got yourself at least 3 rands worth of advertising there. So congratulations. We'll send the bill. And to close off, MKT sees you. He sees you. Papacino. James has been skimming off the top for 6 months. But I know he did maths lit, so it'll be fine. I'm taking it out of his salary. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
Honestly.
So good luck to you.
Nothing from nothing is nothing.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. I've been the interim. I'm Michael Carrick, and just like Manchester United training today, no one is working. They're playing me for a fool, but at least I have a nice beard and a reasonably warm jersey.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We're back tomorrow. The PTP takeover continues. We'll allow you to track MKT on Saturday only because tomorrow I heard where he's going. And it involves a numbers gang.
Whoa.
So let's just don't track him. Don't track him. Thanks for joining us. Listen, get your comments in. We're going to be doing some reviews. I don't know if Flip's with us tomorrow. It's a touch and go. It's touch and go. If there's Palu, no Flip. He said that's a condition.
That's on me. I haven't spoken to Flip yet. But that is on
right.
me.
It's your
I'll
best
sort it
mate.
out. I'll sort it out.
James will sort it out. So hopefully Flip.
We'll flip the
Definitely.
script.
Flip, I hope we have him.
Just switch it off.
Yeah, we should
Just switch.
Just flip the switch.
Just switch the whole thing off. I'm not even gonna say goodbye. Just switch it off.